Welcome to Saga Saturdays, a very exciting new series of videos that we're going to do, kind of based on the Legacy Knife Making Tuesdays, which I don't know if we'll bring back, we might, but this will give us a platform to talk about the pen progress that we're working on, the Grimsmo Saga pen, and very exciting. So today we're talking about the titanium pocket clips and how we evolved from brass to titanium for testing through the R&D process, a lot of the things that were, a lot of the problems we had with it. And a little bit about the clicking mechanism that we created for this. So sit back, enjoy. It's going to be choice. So real quick, after making 5 or 6 brass clips, doing the first one in titanium right now, I just kind of paused it mid-run. See how it goes. So we just paused it. It's looking good so far. It sounds really good, actually. Once it gets a lot thinner by the bottom there, it's going to sound a lot weirder. So while the lathe is running and we're doing a bunch of 3D surfacing right now, it's really weird to be able to feel an 1/8 inch ball end mill actually gently vibrate the machine. So you can actually seriously get a feel for it as it's doing its cuts on some of the stuff. And it's weird to have a 1/8 ball be able to translate like that. Maybe I need to go a little bit lighter on some of the ops. The first titanium clip, as I said in my last video, relatively thrilled with how it turned out. Got the engravings all figured out. One there, tip engraving, and it says Saga Prototype 004, I think, on this one. Here's the mechanism taken apart. It's coming together.
Oh, it is recording. see if it makes the cut.
So I was all excited for these clips, and then we put it together, and I was just a little surprised and disappointed that this springiness was far too tight for my personal tastes. And then I realized it's the, if you get down here, so the material is actually springing out of place based on the machining strategy and just the fact that titanium likes to move. It has spring memory. It's a very good spring steel or material, and that's why it makes such a great pocket clip, is because it has that spring memory. It can bend pretty far before making a new memory, and it'll bend right back. But when you remove all that material, it just wants to curl up. So I'm trying to figure out a good, solid, reliable way to pre-bend it or do something, and then I came up with this idea just now. So at the last process, it comes back here, and I'm thinking, what if we move this down and we just give it a bend? And we'll have to do some testing, and we'll have to figure out how much bend makes it flat. But I think this might actually work. And it should be repeatable, because that thickness of clip should need a certain amount of bend to be relatively flat, and then we'll just move it, 100th hour or whatever it is, and then spit it out and call it good. And maybe we'll check them or whatever, but pretty excited about that. Okay, so I'm going to look under the microscope at the second to the most recent one and the most recent one, and I'm just going to compare the differences. It's good that I numbered everyone, because now I know which is which. 6, 7. I absolutely love this Leica microscope. I just wish it had the TV output so that you guys can more easily see what I'm looking at. So there you go. You can see there's an ID burr and an OD burr that are both causing me great problems. So let me replace that with the new one. All right, let's try this. Oh, there we go. That's much better. There's a hair in there. But yeah, right in the center of the screen there, you can see the, it looks perfect. Let's take a look at the outside chamfer. But yeah, they look perfect now. So this is the button, or yeah, we're gonna call it button. It could have a lot of words, but
the clicky device.
The clicky device. with so many components in the pen, we have to figure out what we're going to call everything. So we basically have to make up names. There's the threaded sleeve, there's the button, there's the slider, the tip, the tube, the something else I'm forgetting right now. But anyway, so this is the button. I added 12 little detailed dots around the outside, which I thought would look pretty fantastic. Angelo just polished this up. He said he just put it in the drill, went against the polishing wheel for a little while. It looks amazing. I don't think we're gonna polish every one as standard because they look really good when they're just turned. So like that is a turned one. Get real close, look at like the top surface of that. So I like that kind of propeller look on the turned one on the left. And the polished one kind of loses that, but it gains the shine. So I think we'll just, like, for production, we'll just stick with the turn finish. It looks amazing. So this, we've each got a clicky mechanism here. And this is our own fairly unique take on a ball lock mechanism. I've only seen this on one other pen, and I'll show that to you guys eventually. Not in this video, but relatively untapped in the pen world. And it's a complicated mechanism, but it's awesome. So I want to integrate the clip into the mechanism. There's a wave spring in there and a C-clip that holds it all in place, but you can see it. And I kind of don't like being able to see it. So I created this lip on the outside of the pen that is going to hide that, except I gotta make a new slider that will clearance and slide over the clip, because right now it doesn't. Right now it'll just push the clip down, but the clip does slide over the C-clip and the spring, and then the new sliders will slide over the thing so that you won't see the C-clip at all, which will be slick. So now I'm at the point where I think after eight or more revisions of the clip in proto stage, I think I'm ready to just start making them. It's a little bit ahead of myself without making the new slider, but we don't have a lot of time before Blade Show, and I want to bring pens to Blade Show. So I'm just going to start making. I'm going to remove the proto. It's going to say Saga 0001, and I'm just going to start counting up, making production clips. Then we'll get as many as we can made, and then we'll move on to the next parts. Click. You guys are going to love this so much. I love it. All right, so the code for making the pocket clip, check that out. It gets stuck here, like the sub spindle, the B-axis doesn't want to move backwards. I don't know why yet. But actually, we have to do something with the part. I haven't figured out what yet. So I want to catch it in the parts catcher. So let me just hit that. So that'll happen next. And then it's got to unclamp, but it doesn't just fall by itself, and you need like a reliable way. A fork in here, pulling it off would be kind of cool, but we kind of thought of this weird idea. Let's see if it works. You stay there. So if I unclamp the sub, now it's loose, and if I turn on the coolant, it just shoots it right off into the bin. If you look in there, you'll find it. And then the door will, or the parts catcher will come back and hit the door and dump it into the bin right there. So let's see that. Here it comes. Huh. So it's good in theory. Now we just need a very reliable way to do that, you know? Because if a part hangs on there and it goes to do it again, it's gonna smush this into nothing and it's gonna break something, and that's not good. I've never done so much work so close, like with the sub spindle close together and all the tools in there, and the pucker factor is huge. So here is number 8. So on the top I'm writing Saga Proto number 0008. I was having some chamfer problems on the top where one of the tools would come in and just roll over and make burrs on the inside and the outside. It was really gross. I got that nailed on this one. So I'd say this clip is essentially done. And you know, I could tweak it to the nth degree. I could make another 10 revisions, but at some point you just have to be like, it's fantastic, and it'll get slightly better. Really the only things that I'm still complaining about are the blends between some of the 3D machining But that's so minor. I think the whole package is fantastic and the process is going really good. The tolerances are holding well, and the tools are working really well too. It is really coming along. This is not only the most complicated part of the pen, it's literally one of the most complicated things I've ever made. It's just complicated. Trying to get this beast to do what I want it to do, but I'm getting it, and I'm really happy with that, so it's very cool. So here's a bunch of the test ones we've been making. Brass. I already showed this before, but there's the first one. See, that didn't work at all. So my confidence after this was pretty low, but then we made the next one, and then the next one, and then it's like all of these are relatively good just with fine tuning. So essentially, that is the material, and that is what the clip looks like afterwards. So it's like, start with this, remove everything that's not a clip, and you're left with a clip. And one of the key features, like one of the reasons I wanted to do it like that, is to get this turn surface on the outside. It not only blends to the pen right there, but if you blew up the diameter, it kind of matches the next biggest radius. It just gives it a really unique look, and it blends to there, and it's got this round, and it's got the through hole with a bunch of clearance stuff, engravings on the outside, Viking guy. Grimsmo Knives 2018, it's all 3D machined and blended and smooth. To be able to pull this part, which is just about finished, off the lathe in one operation is fantastic. Don't let me make this look easy. This has been incredibly difficult, but I love the process. I love to do it. I mean, I probably have 30 plus hours into this clip, maybe 50, or I don't even know, I lost track, just into getting this far on the clip alone. But it's worth it, because then you have this process that's like really difficult and really reliable, and that's what I like. All right, guys, thanks for watching this episode of Saga Saturday. Very excited for this pen, and I gotta go because I got more parts to make. See you next week. Now, just to clarify, while I'm obviously super excited and super into the pens, we're still making knives. I just don't want to like confuse anybody, because we're going to put up a lot of pen content. We're still completely in knife production. Mill's making knives right now. Angelo and Sky are finishing knives right now. Eric is golfing today, jerk. But yeah, so check this out.